This is Jay Mohr, and you are listening to the Break It Down podcast live from Southern California where there's no water.
And now, the Break It Down show with John and Pete.
Octung Baby is his own fucking animal.
Yeah.
Greatest album of the 90s, easily.
You think so?
What? Nevermind by Nirvana?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely up there.
Nevermind's like, Nevermind, you could do those songs on the Ed Sullivan Show. He's the one who likes all our pretty songs, and he likes to sing along. Like you could literally be Pat Boone.
Get a Gretsch and just, put a suit on.
But like Zoo Station and Acrobat.
That album was so good that, Zooropa came out and there was leftover songs.
I dug Zooropa. The first song, Zooropa, and I love Daddy's Gonna Pay for Your Crash Car. Yeah. And I don't know why they don't do that live. Little uptight. You're a baby's fist, butterfly kisses up and down your wrist.
Man, you do a decent Bono.
You know, just last year, 40 million Africans were put in jail, yeah? I do a bit about that. I go, I'm in the upper deck going, bro, I just ate 4 mushroom caps. Who said jail? I'm not having a good time anymore. Bono wants to put us in jail and put bugs in our eyes.
Wow.
Let's go.
Hey, so we are in Fox Studios in the office of Jay Mohr.
Yeah.
What's up, JJ?
Yeah, everybody, you pregnant. I like how you're whispering because you're wearing your Janet Jack. What have you done for me lately?
I am.
Headset. We're all wearing headsets.
It's because I'm going to
bringing
burst into song and dance before you know it. I'm not
that
going
was
to tell
true,
you
Johnny.
when.
I wish, or as they say in Boston, I wish that was true, Johnny.
He's got a Delroy Lindo dance. He didn't even know he had it until the word Delroy Lindo came out. He just did like this touchdown kind of dance thing. Brenna saw it.
Delroy Lindo got robbed of an Oscar, let alone nomination, for Cider House Rules. They gave it to Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Delroy Lindo was having a love affair with his daughter, and you sympathize with him. I love her. Remember?
Man.
I love her.
Man.
Michael Caine got it for like, good night, you princess of Maine. Like, fuck, is like, what?
I thought he was great and get shorty.
Delroy Lindo takes the knife out when the young kid challenges him at the cider house. He goes, what business you in, son? He goes, what? He goes, I'm in the knife business. What business are you in, son? Delroy Lindo got a job.
Yeah, he really does. He really does.
Oh, you want to hear a great, speaking of black guys, I don't know where the fucking connector was into my head. Ving Rhames story. Ving Rhames. I'm like, that wasn't Delroy Lindo, it was another black man. I'm doing this Night of Champions benefit. I'm hosting Oscar De La Hoya's Night of Champions.
Okay.
About 10, 12 years ago. Before my wife, so 13, 14 years ago. I'm backstage, and it's Ving Rhames and, the Olympian that you won't know. Reefer Johnson.
Rafer Johnson. Yeah.
Like, other level gold medal, right?
Right.
We're backstage, and I'm going to walk back out and go, okay, our next presenter is, and bring these 2 cats up. And I look at Ving Rhames, and I go, I have to tell you something, Ving. I'm sitting in like a chair that's, those chairs that make you feel like a child because they're too big,
yes.
So they suck you in. I'm in one of those looking up at Ving Rhames. And I go, I got to tell you something, man. I was on the road watching just movies on TV, and I saw Baby Boy, and you were so great in that. Like, totally, completely underrated. He goes, I appreciate that, little man. I go, and that scene where you come up from behind Tyrese and you start choking him out and tell him to start, you go, I ain't trying to see a third strike. You start choking him out. Bro.
That's serious.
That made me uncomfortable. And he gets down knee to knee with me. Like he's sitting like a catcher now right in front of me. And I'm in this like Edith Ann, like little girl, boy, huge chair.
Like the chair, like the
and he goes,
from Fast Times.
Yeah. He goes, I'm glad you caught that, man, because just like you could choke a man out, and then you can choke a man out and fuck his ass. So I'm glad you picked up on that. Please welcome. And I'm like, what the
hell you're supposed to do with that?
And he's like, I'm glad somehow he translated I know that wasn't the kill you choke. It was the I'm going to rape your ass choke. And, good job.
Yeah. We're knee to knee because you understand.
I'm glad you caught that, little man, because as you know, he's a bad dude. Damon Wayans has a great joke about if you were in jail with Mike Tyson would go, I'm going to fuck you in your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you could be the hardest dude in the world, and all you can come up with is, yeah, for how long? You ain't gonna fuck me all 8-9 hours now. You can fuck me for about an hour and a half, and then you gotta get the fuck out of my cell, man.
We got chow at noon.
For how long?
It's
I hope you can curse on your podcast.
Yeah, we can. We've talked about that before too. We said like, if any guy's nickname is Champ, and he comes up and he takes your woman, you're just like, okay, Champ, all right, high five, good job. Hey, have fun.
It's a weird nickname when you are champ.
Yeah.
When I was on Saturday Night
You only
Live,
really get to use it if you're the champ.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, we all use it. You know,
Sure.
like, hey, what's up, champ? Saturday Night Live, Monday, you go meet the host, and it was George Foreman, and I walked in, and just like slang, not like, heavyweight, he was champion.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At the time, 93. And I walked in, I extended my hand, I go, hey, champ, how? And like, as it came out of my mouth, I got goosebumps, like,
You just called the champ. Champ.
you get it.
Yeah.
How crazy it is, right?
Man,
I'm like, whoa. Hey, champ?
I just said that and I really meant it.
And it's the champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, what do you think when you're on the other side of the ring, like when they're doing introductions? And he says, I'm scared. I was
Wow.
like, what?
Yeah.
He's like the most menacing dude. We're only talking about scary black guys this episode, apparently.
Well, okay.
Steer. John and Pete Break It Down podcast. I'm your guest, Jay Mohr. Jay Mohr Sports Los Angeles, available on iTunes, where I really, really break down sports. Top
Catch
11.
him at Jay Mohr 37
That's my Twitter.
if you're not already following.
Phoenix, October 22, 23, 24, Stand Up Live. October 17th, House of Blues. And after that, kiss my ass. JMohr.com has everything you need. If you buy a blue Heyman t-shirt, why is it $50?
Just
Because
$50.
You come backstage and hang out. That's
That's
the meet
right.
and greet. You get, not like, hey, nice to meet you, beat it. Like, you just hang out.
So if we're hanging out and, the nice lady comes in and says, hey, you guys hungry? I can go, hey, yeah, I'll take a slice. You got slices?
I wouldn't feed you, but I'll certainly get you like a shot or something.
But
For the fans
it's,
out there.
but
For
it's
the fans.
green room access.
Yeah, I tell the manager to tell the servers, if anybody's wearing a blue Heyman t-shirt, just bring them backstage. They go, when? I go, whenever you see them. Like, you're
Bring
not
'em back.
bothering me. I'm just sitting there watching fucking TV with no sound.
Yeah.
Well,
you know
I
what?
don't have to prepare.
I'll tell you from a Warriors perspective, man. That's
Sorry, Johnny, we're out of time.
Yeah, okay.
This
All right.
has been...
There we go.
No,
It's
what?
been nice, everybody. Thank you.
What is it?
That's your charm. That's part of your charm. I mean, that's the thing that separates.
Selling shirts?
No, the thing that separates,
Oh, the
the accessibility, I mean, here we are, a couple of schmucks from the Bay Area, came down here, and you welcomed us in. You're doing our show.
I was excited to
We
do your show.
appreciate it.
I like doing podcasts.
Yeah.
A lot. And I love the Bay Area. My boy Greg Proops is a Bay Area guy. That's like, we were talking in the restroom, like, you guys need to get an app.
Yeah.
Because people have the Break It Down podcast on their phone,
Mm.
and they just plug it into their car. They listen whenever they want.
Yeah.
And I have Greg Proops, San Francisco, Sam, whatever.
Sam, one of those Sam.
So like, I have his app on my phone. I have
We talked
mine.
about a lot more than that in the restroom.
We
We
talked
spent
about,
quality time in there.
he's got big calves, man.
Yeah,
I
we
just
got
stared
needed
at him
me
at
and
the
we said,
urinal.
you know what, you get it. I'm gonna
But
tell you
I
something.
was saying, I
I'm
love
glad
doing,
you caught that.
I love
He
doing podcasts because it's.
Did you guys share urinal side to side?
No,
Yeah,
not
we're
side
right
to
next to
side.
each other.
Yeah.
Side to side.
No, we
trying
respect
to give you a fucking
boundaries.
compliment, but if you guys want to do dick jokes over it, that's great.
Yeah.
I just think Jerry Brown wants us to conserve water, and all that. Maybe you guys who love the earth.
They
Let's
got
talk
the
about
water
this
conservation toilets in there.
How about this water bullshit?
Yeah.
You know how much human beings are accountable for the water usage in California?
Tell us.
Tell me.
Take a guess. What percentage? I mean, you can't flush your pee, so it's got to be up there, right?
Yeah. Let's say 70.
All right. John says 70 Pete.
I'll take 50.
5.
Is it 5?
Come on.
Fuck
So
you,
all the
Jerry
rest is
Brown.
Agricultural.
When's Gavin Newsom getting in there? That's my dude.
Yeah.
He's a Catholic like me.
Well, he's
Oh.
a Catholic, but
He
he's
votes
also
against his own beliefs to represent his constituents.
He's a
He doesn't
representative.
believe in gays, but he's pro-gay because he's San Francisco
It's
and they
his
voted
people.
him in.
That's right.
But now the Catholic Church is completely pro-gay.
Yeah, the
They-
new Pope's kicking it. He's doing it.
Yeah,
He's
I had
changing
Monsignor Jim Lasante on my
Yeah.
podcast, and I asked him about, I'm pro-choice for different reasons, and I didn't believe life begins at conception, and he said it did. I said, all right, well, it's whatever. And I asked him about gays. And this isn't like a lefty from Cal. This is a Monsignor,
Mhm.
things. Yeah.
an Italian guy, like a really cool, like Saturday Night Fever looking Italian dude. And he's from like Long Island, Our Lady of Lourdes Church.
Oh.
And he goes, of course I love gay people, and every Catholic should love gay people, because if you are pro-life, you have to be pro-life from conception through all the way to natural death. So if you're gay on that timeline, then you're not pro-life if you're against gays. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
That was tight.
Yeah.
Wow.
His butt, I mean.
Yeah. Okay, well, we appreciate you sharing that.
You guys can ask me questions but I don't let you get a word in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I
No,
love
that's
podcasts. I love the Bay Area.
Well, have podcasts been good to you?
Yes. Here's the best thing is, the fan base, it's appointment listening. It's not like you're in your car turning a dial. It's, I'm going to download this because I choose to follow this man at the center of the sun.
Yes.
So if you say, don't forget to watch I Am Chris Farley on whatever network it was tonight, they all go because they already have the same, they have the sense of humor that you do. They know where you stand on all political, everything. So if you go, I have a code on the More Stories podcast. I say, if I really dig something, like if I want people to buy like Brooks Wheelan's comedy album, I go, hey, I put my name on it.
Yep.
Put your name on it.
Yeah.
And there's been hours where I just go and I promote. But if you don't hear, put your name on it.
You didn't put your name on it.
No, I'm just saying, this is the shit they got out. You can see it if you want.
Yeah.
But it's appointment listening. So it's been great for me, stand-up wise. Personally, the emails I get from people, and I do answer all my own emails of, we were just talking about John McGinley and I from Scrubs and Platoon, for crying out loud.
Platoon.
I got a bad feeling about this one, Bob. He has a special son, Max. He's 18 years old. He has Down syndrome. And my Aunt Christy, who the people that listen to More Stories know, died in a fire recently.
Right. Yeah.
She was special. Special people really can hear that word, our word. And we had this whole conversation about, you can't. And he said, he was walking with his son in Malibu, and they are totally wired in to hear that word, and they know it is offensive, and they are ready to fight.
Yeah.
You wreck their fucking day. So he's walking with his son, who's high functioning, obviously, Max. And they're at Malibu Country Mart. Some guy goes, you're a fucking retard. And his son picks his head up. John McGinley walks over to the kids and goes, hey, why'd you call your friend? It's like, I don't know, like 6, 18-year-olds, which will like fucking pummel you.
Right.
But McGinley's not. He goes, hey, why'd you call him that word? You used would you call him a he goes, retard. He goes, why'd you call him that? He goes, cause he's a fucking retard. He goes, hey, why don't you call him a kike? And the kid goes, whoa. He goes, yeah, now we're having a conversation.
Wow.
And he's like in my garage, intense.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. He goes, it's the only slur with no consequence.
Right.
For the person is still hurt. So when I get an email, you ask me how podcasts have been good to me. I get an email from a guy that's a basketball, like a Down syndrome basketball team. Him emailing me, people with special needs children, like, this is a great discussion, thanks. And the openness about addiction, depression, and panic, transparency, I think, is my calling card. So when it's been good, the relationship with people, letting me know their personal stuff. You don't get to know that. And of course, you don't do it for free. You make a little money, and people come see your stand-up shows. And I got an Amazon banner at jaymohr.com, and that money goes to my son's college. So I don't have to worry about that. So people who listen to my podcast are going to put my kid through college.
Yes. We've both have.
Yeah.
The Amazon banner?
Sure.
My man.
We want Meredith to go to, we want him to go to Morehouse and you not to have to pay
you
for
guys
all
emailed
of it.
me.
Yeah.
I read it on the podcast.
Yeah.
We love you. Actually, your show was one of the shows that we really dissected when we were trying to figure out. We had a radio show before this. We wanted to figure out how to do what the podcast and yours and Mick Betancourt show were really instrumental in how
I love Mick.
Man, you and Mick, I think, to me, have the most honest shows where you just really, you welcome us into your home every week,
Mm-hmm.
Mick has had the most ridiculously difficult life.
Yeah.
And yet he's happy.
Ridiculously difficult.
Like everybody in his life either abused him, tried to have sex with him, or died in his arms.
Right. And everybody in the periphery was a wreck somehow.
Yeah, and like trying to actually
so much wreckage.
like literally like, you're going to go stay with your uncle, and you're like, the guy that is always trying to put his penis in my butt? Like, really?
Yeah.
And then
you're sending me to live with that guy.
Yeah. But over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Dead. And the mom doing tricks in the bedroom. It's nuts. So when my Aunt Christy died in that fire and Uncle Dan almost died trying to save Aunt Christy's life, I had 3 podcasts in the bank, and I realized I got to record something. Like, I can't sit across from fucking whomever and go, so I understand you got some dates coming up. And I went, Mick Betancourt.
Yep.
Because his
That's the guy.
life somehow is worse than what I just went through, losing family members.
Yeah.
When you guys started talking about when his grandfather died in his arms, and it got funny.
I almost choked to death. I laughed so hard.
Yeah, I was laughing with you guys just as hard.
I thought we were wrestling.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
more stories, Mick Betancourt. Both episodes.
Check it out if you haven't. Yeah, go look on jaymohr.com. Grab both episodes.
Right when you
They're
die,
both
like
terrific.
you like seize up a little, and his grandfather grabbed him to like tell him,
Tell him,
like,
hey,
I'm having a fucking heart attack.
This is serious.
So Mick just throws a fucking fireman's carry on him.
Yeah.
Just rolls him up. He died.
Man. That is so fucking heavy. And his whole life is that.
If you don't laugh, you
Really?
cry, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So
You guys are so Bay Area.
we
You guys are so
discovered-
chill. I love it. Yeah.
we discovered Mick on that first episode that you had him on. And, listened to his show and then immediately were hooked and had to just,
Have you asked him to come on your show?
he's been on our show.
Oh, go yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good dude like that.
He is really good dude. We went to Tifa and
He rolled.
But
We were laughing. We were talking.
in fact,
about
we're
farts.
What's
Funny as fuck.
Tifa?
that's his studio. He calls it Tifa, the
his
Institute
fake
for
mustache.
Advanced Hustle.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Oh man.
I've not. Obscenely, I've not done his podcast.
You know what? You should go do it,
He's
and
got
you
the
should
questions?
get
Oh,
fucking
no,
right down
hold-
the street.
I know. Who's the kid? The questions. He was just on my podcast. Tobler. And he's got a podcast where he just asks you, like, it's called 45 Questions.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, that interests me.
You know what? I haven't listened to Brant Tobler's podcast.
You guys
He's fucking funny as hell.
You beat Mick Betancourt and Brant Tobler getting me in your pod. I haven't done their podcast.
Wow.
Oh, all right.
I'm
So
pretty
what made
fired
you
up
say
about
yes,
that.
then? We got to ask.
I'm not doing enough podcasts.
Okay.
And you emailed me right as I was thinking, I'm not doing enough podcasts. So I got to respect your hustle too. Like,
All right.
You had to make
Appreciate
that email of, hey, can you do it?
Yeah,
How do you guys know everything's on? I would be panic stricken.
I got headphones on.
I'm trusting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and everybody sounds great. You sound like Barry White. Even your
Oh.
impression of Mike Tyson sounds a little Barry White-esque.
Well, maybe equalize that fader, bro.
Yeah. No. Man, I'm going to make a timeline for you about how this went down. When we started the podcast a few months ago, we just reached out, and amazingly, we have a friend who is a keyboard player, and he's playing with Sly Stone. And Sly Stone is from my hometown. So he said, hey man, I can get you Sly Stone. Come down. I can get you Sly Stone. Sly Stone hasn't spoken to a member of the press in 30
It's
years.
a family affair.
Yeah, man. So we said, okay, well, shit, I don't care if we get him on the podcast. I just want to be in the same room with him and see what kind of wisdom he drops. And he dropped wisdom like this. How about,
Life changing.
yeah, man, this one time I was fucking Doris Day.
He said that on the podcast?
He opened up a story with that. It was one of those, you know.
Did he go on the podcast, though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I gotta listen.
So we had we had to do that on our way down.
Doris Day, by the way, the single most
Come on.
overrated, looks-wise human being that's ever walked Earth.
Well, look, she was at the top of the.
She was
perhaps
a smoky
overrated.
Jersey lady looking to me, but they sold her like she was this big sex symbol.
Yeah,
You know why they all loved her?
but people bought.
You know why all the stars loved her?
Why?
Because she was always the date for all the closeted guys. Like, she would always
Oh,
go out
yeah.
with Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson, sure.
You know, they did those movies together.
Right.
Rock Hudson, by the way, one of like the hottest men to ever walk Earth. You want to talk about a guy who looks like a cross between like Elvis and Cary Grant.
Yeah.
You know, Doris Day, and all the studio heads loved her because they would always have her. That she was the gal you call. She got it.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I'll be
That's
at
all
the Oscars with you.
Let's go.
Guy that runs the studio.
Yeah.
So that's why she always got top billing.
Good for her.
It wasn't her looks.
Yeah.
Sly Stone got inside her.
Yeah.
Bubble guts.
So he dropped all kinds of wisdom on us. But on our way down here to get him, we're fired up. We're like, we're going to go hang out with Sly Stone. So then, prior to that, you know, I sent an email to Mick, or Pete sent an email to Mick, and Mick was like, yeah, sure, man, come on down. Let's go. We were like, holy shit, we've got Sly
Yeah.
Stone and Mick. So we made a trip out of it.
That's a good trip.
Yeah.
It's a successful business trip.
On our way down, we stopped at the pea soup joint,
Anderson.
Anderson's. I checked my email to Jay Mohr at jaymohr.com. Hey, Jay, come be on our show. You answered with, yeah, man, send me a text. Come on down. So we've been chasing you around
that
for a
easy.
few months. But and I'll edit that out if you don't want everybody chasing you around.
No,
But
I
here
don't
we
have
are.
to say yes to everybody.
Fuck
You just gave
yeah.
out my webmail and it's just my website.
Yeah,
It's not like you gave out my number. You have my number.
I do. But the thing is,
But I was like, yeah, sure.
you have.
You said, but you were also like, we'll come to you.
Yeah.
I know you got a radio show. Like we could do whenever you want. And so you kind of laid it out
we
in a way.
try to make it easy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, these guys are great. This
Yeah.
is easy.
Well, that's the whole thing with this podcasting, right? You show
Excuse
up
me,
on
I'm
the
talking
show.
to John P. Please, when you
You're
let
gonna
us
be quiet
finish.
now.
I know you're in the army and all. We're supposed to be intimidated. John, what were you saying?
What we do now is we get our guests to say, "Hey, this is whoever. This is the Break It Down show," and they introduce our show. When we were first starting to listen, when we first became more ears and more stories listeners, we bought some things on the Amazon banner. So I sent you an email. I bought some car parts for my son, and I said, "Jay, bought some car parts for my son. Great, glad to support."
And you mentioned the podcast.
I
in your email.
did.
And I said, I'll give you, I remember.
You
what I
gave
said.
me the plug.
I said, I'll give you the plug. I got a weird memory. I
Yeah.
can't remember to bring fucking turkey slices home to my wife. I'm like, I got everything. Did you get my turkey slices? I'll be right back.
First thing on the list.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I actually said out loud, I'll give you the plug. I don't give a shit. Good on you, buddy.
Yeah.
And then I said the name of the podcast.
But yeah, you gave me the plug. We've used that plug on probably 30 of our episodes.
John Leon Guerrero. JJ, longtime listener, happy to contribute to the college fund. I just bought my son a bunch of parts for his car by clicking through the Amazon link. I just started a podcast on my own, The Break It Down Show, with one episode published so far. I would love it if you plugged me. Hey, guess what, everybody? Go listen to The Break It Down Show. I'd love it even more if you did my show. That's not going to happen. If you don't, I'm still going to love Jay Mohr. Keep the good stuff coming. Thanks, John Leon Guerrero. I'll give you the plug, but I ain't going to be a guest. I'm a busy man. And thanks for buying your son car parts.
I do that all the time. Like if somebody's going to email me because they use the Amazon banner and I get like, it's literally like 1%.
Yeah.
And Amazon just wants to know you got there through my website where
Right.
the traffic's coming from, but it all goes direct deposit to Meredith's college. So it's like this huge, like people go through their whole lives like trying to squirrel away money for college and it's this terrible hustle.
Sure.
And you're never ahead. You're always behind.
Yeah.
But because of the listeners, he's 4.
He's 4.
I'm ahead.
Right.
So people
And he's
like,
a trash truck.
hey,
so,
want to give a
there's
shout
going
out
to
to
be some
this, shout out to
scholarship
that?
money.
I'm like, yeah, you got it. Yeah. Meredith is my father-in-law's name.
Yeah.
And Nikki Cox's dad, Meredith Avery Cox. He's named after Meredith Wilson, who wrote The Music Man, because his mom was a music teacher.
Uh-huh.
And it is a man's name from
That's teacher.
Scotland.
That starts with T. That rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
Word.
So, please. Sorry.
It's Scottish, and it means Lord of the Sea. So when we came back from World War II, we brought back pretty much pizza and the name Meredith. And we gave it to men in the South.
Uh-huh.
Like Marion.
Yeah.
Shirley is a man's name in the South.
right.
Like, there's a famous writer for the Kim Dallas Morning News. There's I think it was this guy, I know his name was Shirley, but he was a fantastic writer.
Mm-hmm.
And Meredith, but then it became just strictly a girl's name. But I wasn't going to not name my son after the kindest man I know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Meredith, so obviously it's a man's name because he's a man. He's a
That's
rocket
right. He's a
scientist.
man's man.
He built
he
the
set
rockets.
the fucking Hubble telescope
Built
up.
the Hubble telescope.
Yeah,
design.
it's undeniable, man.
You know everything. I love it.
He was
Yeah,
okay.
and Daniel is Uncle Dan, so it's Meredith Daniel.
Yeah.
And when he's kicking quarterbacks and putting them in the trash truck at an all-black college, named Meredith, a boy named Meredith,
You're
at
right.
a white kid at
You
an
just got
all-black college.
blindsided by a white kid named Meredith.
Named Meredith. Like, that's like built for Monday Night Football. Meredith Mohr.
Absolutely.
That's better than Atari Bigsby.
Yeah.
I love that cat. I love the Monday night intros when they got to say, but now it's like they call the plays too fast.
Yeah.
It used to be on Monday Night
Yeah.
Football, like, let's meet the Seattle Seahawks defense. And you go through all 11 guys.
All
and they
11
live in
guys, and
college.
they do the turn.
And now it's got like super smushed in.
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't figure it out.
Right.
They're just like, whatever.
They got to space
Jay
it out
Mohr,
because we
Rutgers
love it.
University.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would go play. Yeah, that's a good idea, Johnny. I would go like, first down. Before first down, I do like the offensive line.
Yeah, let's meet the O-line.
And then
All right, now let's meet the
next
secondary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now they smush it together. But the guy in the Seahawks, Atari Bigsby, said, because now they always want to say like their junior high or their high
Yeah.
school.
Mhm.
He goes, Atari Bigsby, Ja Rastafari. I was like, yeah, somebody's peeing in a cup tomorrow.
Yes.
We go, dummy. But the best one I ever heard was Hollis Thomas from the Eagles. He just went, Tank. I That was it. And that was his game.
Yeah.
He was a dude, man.
I love people who get the drama that we love about entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
I remember there was a bouncers competition. This stuck in my head from when we were like 6 years old. There was a bouncers competition, and it was on like they put it on right after That's Incredible or something. So they had all the
John
boys
Davidson, Sarah
watching the
Purcell.
shit. That's right, and Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, I always like the haunted stuff on that show.
So this bouncers competition, the guy who won it was a then unknown Mr. T. And Mr. T at the time did not have a mohawk. He was wearing he was wearing a white suit. So all the guys came out and they looked like the bouncer at Gillies, you know.
They all got the sleeves off.
Yeah. And then here comes Mr. T, and he's wearing a bright white suit, and he's got sunglasses on, and he walks up, and the first thing they do is they give their introduction, this is Tank, and then they run up, and there's a punching bag, and they hit the punching bag, and it sticks up in the thing, and it measures how hard they punch. And Mr. T walks up, and he looks in the mic, and he goes, Mr. T, Cabrini Green. And he just walks up, touches punching bag and pimps off, like dragging one foot behind him.
Damn.
Oh, I
Just
was
touched
like,
it?
yeah, he just touched
Just gave
it,
a little tiny touch.
touched it, and
Gently.
smoothed off to the left.
I'm going to show you my wares now. You got to come around back.
Yeah,
You want to see that filthy stuff, man.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it.
Cabrini Green's
And
no
he won.
joke.
That's no joke.
He did win.
Yeah, he ended up winning. Yep. And yeah, now Cabrini Greens is like loft condos.
I don't think the cops go there still yet. I think they're a little literally gun shy to roll into Cabrini Greens. Like, what's the problem?
Uh huh.
That's the
Why
place
don't you
call
tell us
in
about it on the
Chicago.
telephone?
Yeah, Chicago's one of those spots. Cabrini Greens was a spot for the listener to call the cops, and they wouldn't call the cops.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go
There's
in there.
no cop
And
calling.
Fort
wouldn't
Apache,
show
the
up.
Bronx.
It's
Yeah,
not going to do you any good.
yeah.
I remember when they had just cleaned it up, I went to go visit my cousin Eric. Shout out to my cousin Eric in
What's up, Eric?
Chicago, Illinois. And we went by there because he said, hey, man, they're going to turn this into condos. And they had cleaned out the housing projects. And I think they by then they had started taking them down. And there was a crater in the parking lot that you could see just beyond the chain link fence. In the parking lot, this thing was deep. And I looked in there and I was like, what the hell is that? You know, like, did the wrecking ball miss or something? He said, no, man, there was a shootout. And the police got this far into Cabrini Green, and they started a shootout. And then somebody in a window on the 11th floor pulled out a surface-to-air missile
Jesus.
and fucking put a hole in the parking lot.
Oh
and the
my
cops got
God.
in their car and took off.
Unbelievable.
Like an
Yeah.
SA-7. Holy cow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, now, Pete, this is probably your wheelhouse. The military now, I think, a lot, not, the most revenue happens before it ever hits the field. It's way in GPL, the propulsion laboratories where the revenue is.
Right.
But some of the revenue now is the military just gives police forces like their gear, because get into these shootouts and these guys have automatic weapons and like full body armor, and you got like these old fat cops with like 38s. It's like they're just completely outmatched.
Yeah.
Yelling freeze.
So you were in the Army.
Yeah.
That like how that's pretty. Is that above board? Is that like a thing that everybody knows? I mean, you know it. I know it.
What's,
Like military gives police forces
They
they actually
have
sell
all
them.
this extra stuff. Like, and Oshkosh has surplus of things that maybe the military said, we want 25,000 of these. And make it 28,000. Never mind those last 1,000. Now, so there's 1,000 of these machines sitting there.
Yeah.
They got to do something with them, so they get sold. And yeah, so there's a lot of military.
So yeah. And so when you see like footage of Ferguson, well, I'm not getting into race or anything, so
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
worry. But when you know that, but I'm telling the listener, when you see like Ferguson, Missouri, and you see the cops like with all that fucking crazy gear on and the tank and like all that, they got it from the military.
Yeah. And that
Kinda
thing
scary,
weighs
like-
like 12,000 pounds driving down the street.
I'm total pro cop, but at some point you say to yourself like,
Yeah, no, for sure.
this kind of spooks me out a little.
Not sure
bit.
whether those guys are trained for that.
I had a
I mean,
huge
they-
argument on my podcast with Jimmy Dore. He's like, those cops go down to Occupy Wall Street. They start cracking people in their fucking heads. I go, hold on a second. Let's back up.
Yeah.
No cop went to Occupy Wall Street
And started
just
cracking
started
open
cracking
heads.
people in the head.
Yeah.
And this shit went on for 40 minutes, and he started screaming at me. He woke up my baby.
Wow.
He's like, they went down. They fucking tear gas. I go, let's say you're a policeman. Hey, could you do me a favor? The sign says the park closes at midnight. I need you guys just,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Could you please get out of the park? The sign says right there, you have to leave. Fuck you. Spit.
Right.
And after a while, you got to
Now,
call
in,
another guy.
in
Now
anybody
there's
else's
400
world,
people.
that's battery.
Yes.
Like, I get to punch you in the mouth now because you spit on me because you battered me. So, but not his world.
No.
His
And it's
world
not
has
even,
gotta-
sometimes it's as simple as you do have the right to peaceful assembly, but this is private property. So if you just took 5 steps to your left,
Right.
you'll be in a public atrium.
And still, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
And your desk sergeant is going, are they gone yet? Are they gone yet? Are they gone? You got a wife at home giving you ear beatings. Your kid is fucking cross-eyed.
Right.
And you got these fucking guys going, fuck you. So it's not, you can't defend it.
Yeah.
But nobody went down there cracking skulls.
Right.
It does happen.
Sure it does.
In Oakland, the same thing happened. We did the Occupy Wall Street thing in Oakland, and they had they lined them up. They're in riot gear, horses, right? And they're like, "Hey, you have to go home now. Come right back at 6 a.m. But right now, it's over. Midnight. Everybody has to go home because that's just the rules for everybody.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to move. And if you're in Oakland,
That's rare because horses
yeah,
are the best crowd.
sure,
Like,
Yeah.
it's the most efficient police tool. Like, anybody could tell a cop, like, man, fuck you, man.
And then, right.
I pay your salary.
Here comes a
But when a
3,200
horse's
pound
ass
horse.
just bumps into you and your friend, you're like, whoa, wait, what the fuck is this shit?
And
You
I'm
got-
like, sorry, man, that's my horse.
Like New Year's Eve, they just got they're outnumbered 1,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
But if you're on a fucking horse,
Yeah.
you're in control of 100 people.
Just ask Genghis Khan.
yeah,
He figured it out.
Cortez the Killer.
Yeah.
and all those guys have the garbage can. That's just the phalanx, right? And that's the same thing that worked for thousands and thousands of years. That thing moves people, so they just line up when they move. And if you refuse to leave, yes, there's going to be tear gas. That makes people leave. There's rubber bullets, and some people are going to get hurt. But it's fucking Oakland, and if a cop says you can't stay here, you can't stay there because those guys can't play around.
Why would anybody stay in Oakland ever for any reason whatsoever? Unless your name is Derek Carr. Why are you staying in Oakland? Just
It's-
go right across the bridge.
Yeah,
Beautiful city right there.
Hey, listen, man, this is how much we love you, Jay. My son Nico. Shout out to my son Nico.
Oh, Nico.
He's
I
a
want to do the Peter Gabriel song for your son.
college
Nico.
athlete.
Really?
First game, he's a baseball player. First game today. Laney College in Oakland. Go Eagles.
Let me tell you something, Nico. What position does he play?
He's a catcher pitcher.
That, like Bugs Bunny, he goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does the
I'm
slow
like,
ball
there's a
where he
joke
touches
in
it
there
with his
somewhere.
finger
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
shoom.
with the commentary.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's playing tonight?
He's catching. It's a doubleheader tonight. He's catching and then pitching tomorrow. Pitching in Merced.
Bad manager.
Yeah. Wow.
Because he's going to be too gas. Catching's fucking tiring.
I think
you should pitch him first, then let him catch.
Well, that would be one approach. I think he's probably going to just use him as a setup man tomorrow.
Nico, listen to me very carefully. Hit homers, throw strikes. If you watch the ball hit your bat, it's literally a scientific impossibility that you will miss it. Watch the ball hit the bat and then explode through that ball. Take the extra base. That's what I like about you, Nico. Hit single. You see that guy slapdicking around? Fucking take off. Get that second base back.
Words of advice
Yeah.
from Jay Mohr. More sports.
Nico's got it.
He
Yeah.
does. He's
Hitless
good.
in the second game, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, it happens.
What if I'm right?
It happens. You only got to get on a third of the time. You're a Hall of Famer.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
words
Throw
of
a
wisdom
couple
from Jay
watch
Mohr. What qualifies him? Jay Mohr Sports.
Jay
Listen
Mohr
to the
Sports, yeah.
podcast.
Just good energy. Just giving good energy to Nico, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Just go over there, hit
Works
the
the
ball.
ball up and down.
Come
He
on,
does it.
steal.
Yeah.
Get the sign, steal. If I coached a team, I would tell everybody, if you get on base, you better start taking for second whenever you feel like it's appropriate.
Yeah.
They go, oh, you run yourself out of an inning. The greatest catcher in Major League Baseball history, in my opinion, defensively, Pudge Rodriguez, he threw out 48% of base runners. So, like, best guy
That
to
means
ever...
52% moved up.
What's that?
52% of base runners moved up.
Yeah. So, like, the greatest guy to ever do it is less than half.
Yeah.
We're running. I'm not running that. We're run all day. And eventually you're going to throw one into center field. 'cause
Yep.
you're too tight. You're
And the
freaked
guy's
out.
getting on third.
You know who's running first? The fat kid. I'm sending him first to send a message.
Yeah. Just let everybody know.
Even Flubber's going.
Yeah. Hey,
Fudge,
catch.
take two.
Catch, warm up, huh?
You know my sign is for steal? Whenever you want, you steal, okay, buddy?
Yeah.
What I say in the first base
I like
box.
it.
I don't give a shit.
I didn't play baseball. My other son's Herbie. Shout out
Oh,
to
wow.
Herbie. They forced me to learn to love baseball from coaching my kids. But there was always somebody who knew a lot more than me. So he ended up coaching third. That means I coached first.
Yeah,
And
first
here's
you
the,
just gotta go. Come on, Bobby.
the greatest thing about coaching first is that all you got to do is say, come on, Bobby.
Bobby.
And this is what I do. This is my
Bravo.
move, man. I walk up to the pitcher who's, the pitcher's warming up. My guy's on deck. My leadoff hitter's on deck. I would always walk up. I put my arm around him. I said, Jay, listen, man, I got a great joke about titties. You get on. I'm going to tell you that joke. And then I take off to the first base box. And man, that motivated teenage boys to get on. They wanted to hear the joke about titties.
I would. Do you still have it?
No.
There is no joke.
I would just make one up.
The guy, Jim Bouton, ball 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said when he was in the AAA World Series, the manager came in, I forget the manager's name, right before the game, AAA World Series, and the manager just held his index finger and his thumb like a eighth of an inch apart, and he just stood there for like a minute, and everybody's like, the fuck's he doing? And he goes, and then finally after like, literally like minutes, dead silent, just thumb and forefinger that far apart. And then finally the guy goes, every man in this room is this far away from Major League Pussy. Let's go. And he just started going like 19-0. That was his whole speech.
Yeah.
This far away.
There's beauty in simplicity.
Titty jokes.
Titty jokes.
Yeah. And all you have to do is start the titty joke. You know, you get out there and you go, yeah. Hey, good job, you know, and you pat him on the butt and you go, man, right on. That was a nice hit. So listen, steal whenever you want. And here's the joke. There's a husband and wife and they're, you know, having some financial troubles. So, they have a talk about it and the wife, they decide the wife is going to hook so they can make some extra money, you know, and pass ball, go, you know,
Yeah,
and then
you get
that's
out
it.
of it.
You're off the hook.
Yeah.
So,
You're a smart coach, buddy.
yeah.
John knows what's up.
Motivating.
Yeah.
It's all about
I
motivating.
like how much time Pete spent in like Iraq and Afghanistan. Like, you guys fascinate me. This is the only war we've ever had where everybody's like super excited to go back.
You know,
Like, nobody's like, I'm gonna go back to Vietnam and consult.
yeah.
They're like, you weren't there, man. We were fighting fucking ghosts. They don't want to go back.
No.
They're freaked out. They have nightmares.
No.
Every like Afghan, Iraqi guy, they're like, well, I'm on my 8th tour. I love it.
Yeah.
It's good
What's the
money.
difference? What is the difference?
You know, I'll tell you, for me, I was able to go out and interact with people and then try to communicate State Department and military folks and say, here's what we're doing. Here's the effect of what we're doing. Effect with an A. And then good commanders would recognize that value because I can speak the truth. I don't have to write a report. If we all go on the same mission, my report's going to stand out because I'm looking at different things. I'm going to talk to the people. So we'll come out and we'll say, hey, we built a school for all these girls. And I'll talk to the guys and be like, no shit, how many girls?
You're talking like Afghan.
Yeah,
man.
Afghan dudes,
Okay.
right? And they're like, you guys to leave. It's really dangerous here right now. You know, and you're like, okay, let me write that down.
Great.
You know,
Yeah.
and then I just write those little notes, and that gives clarity to that commander. And when the thing is commanders, State Department people, they're programmed to impose will. You know, if you went to Vandy and then to the Kennedy School of Government, what can you be taught about going overseas and helping people? You know everything. So because you know everything, you can't shut up and just listen and find out what goes on. So you dominate everything. And we're Americans. We want to dominate everything anyhow. We have the answers.
What is it about this generation of soldier that is so ambitious about going back and returning?
Maybe there's nothing else to do. I don't know. I know that when I've come back, it's been impossible for me to get regular employment. Can't even get an interview.
Big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big problem.
And this is a guy who's signed up time after time to go do it again for the
Well,
last probably
he's a
dozen
dummy.
years.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Full
I
disclosure.
Well, there's that.
He's not smart. He's like an actual dumb guy. So
Yeah.
when he goes and fills out the application in a crayon, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mostly do symbols. I
most-
write in wingdings.
You're
Most
like,
people
formerly
don't
known
like
as friends.
purple. Yeah.
Nah.
It's an issue.
But yeah, they always go back. Generation Kill, the guy took a crack at it, the book Generation Kill, and he said it's the first generation that knows, they just know that they're being lied to. There's no like disillusionment. Like Vietnam, where like we just trusted the government.
Right.
Like, well, they say it's okay.
Yeah.
And if you were into it, you were into it. If not, you had protests. But this is the first generation of soldiers where it's all first person shooting games. They smoke a ton of weed.
Yeah.
They're getting C minuses. And then all of a sudden the recruiter comes by and you go, oh, I could be like a Marine for the rest. Like that's on my resume forever. How much a month?
Yeah.
And then let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know the Wall Street stuff, but I know the first person shooter stuff. So I'll just go do that for a while, see how that goes.
Yeah, but they go back. They always go back. Like nobody just does one and just.
Well, it's
guess
not
it's
the
harm-
same fight as Vietnam, though. Vietnam, if you weren't a rear echelon person, and most people are, let's say like 80% of the people are back home on the fort doing something to support the people that go out, So they're eating ice cream, they're eating cheesesteaks, you know, and they do an important job. We can't do what we do without them. But a lot of them are doing that, so they're stacking up money. So you could be in Kansas on a wooden metal detail walking around, you know, Fort Riley, Kansas, waiting to do something, and you're supposed to be this gunslinger, and you're just like, I'm just waiting, doing nothing. I'm making training reports, or you can go do what you're trained to do.
Yeah, but you could die. Like that's the occupational hazard is death.
Combat is so. This will sound crazy.
Some
Combat
people
is so
fear.
safe now. It's not like that. Combat is so safe now. It's not really like that. I mean, yes, people die.
It's done via remote control.
A lot of it's via remote control. We're so lethal, the enemy doesn't engage us. So what they do is
why are the kids in body bags coming home?
But because they blow them up with bombs. But we get good at we really fight the guys.
My boy Nate Boyer sitting right next to an Afghan captain. Sniper was after my buddy Nate.
Yeah.
And then just captain took one in the throat.
Sure.
It was Nate's bullet. So
Wow.
You will get so.
I'm not saying people don't die.
Safer, I think, is a better word.
Yeah, but it's the safest it's ever been.
It's not like World War I in the mud where nobody moves for 6 days.
Yeah. No,
stupid war.
It's I mean, you think
Seriously.
about
Ferdinand, like some weird shit.
How about the Civil War? Let's just kill each other. Yeah. And then, oh man, what is that? You got a bullet wound on your hand? We're gonna have to hack off the limb.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it with a
Gods
hacksaw.
and Generals, Civil War book, and it was kind of amazing because it really wasn't like the book explained it not like slavery, anti-pro slavery. It was like General Lee is a Virginian, and we just established these states and with their militias, and you're a Virginian, and then
some shit happens in Virginia.
They're not doing what the government's telling them, so they call General Lee, who's the highest ranking general of the state of Virginia, and they go, "We need you to go and just take these guys out." And General Lee said, I'm a Virginian.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
So then he is now forced into a position to go backwards and be, quote unquote, the South.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I'm going to fight to keep my slaves. In General Lee's case, it was the president says, I need you to go into Richmond and just, shoot these guys and get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And he said,
I
can't do that.
And he's like, no, I am a Virginian. I will not fire on my brother. And then it just unraveled. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to make everything real binary. It was this or it was that, and it wasn't that simple. It was a lot more complicated. I mean, slavery was an issue, but
we got one of the top 10 funny men in the universe on our show. We're talking about the Civil War.
No, I like this stuff. But the other thing too, what scares me about Afghanistan and Iraq, Peter, is you watch the Killing Season and these documentaries and Rispetto, documentary about the forward operating base.
Yeah.
And there are casualties, but I get I know we're the greatest fighting force that's ever been.
Right.
But it's you fight for 6 hours, you get 14 Afghans.
Sure.
Bad guy Afghans. And then, you lose 2 guys and you're these are guys in fucking robes. Just running between mud huts. What the fuck would happen if we had to fight Germany again?
Oh boy.
Why is this taking so long? We should just throw a blanket over the place and tent it.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It
literally frightens me.
Yeah.
Hitler's Germany, that incredible, no, we're doing this for our father.
Yeah.
They thought he was God for a master race. I go, Jesus Christ, what?
It's a different fight now, though. The fight is a lot more about affect as opposed to kinetic effect, right? So, we're trying to create a safer, better Iraq or Afghanistan, and you have to move people. Look, the military does radio, right? And they're terrible at it. Here's what they measure. How many radios? How big is our broadcast? And then they measure the broadcast.
And they yell into them.
Yeah. When
they're supposed to be hiding. That's why we lost Vietnam. We're all clear, LT. Bring everybody in. 4 clicks. Asshole. There's a guy in the bushes 3 feet behind you.
Well, I mean.
And everybody's wearing an IFB earpiece. He can go.
Yeah.
We're all clear up here if you guys want to move forward.
We know where those guys are at.
It sounded so good.
This is Barry White on the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
This is Barry White doing Barry Katz on the Ho Chi Minh.
This is Barry Katz. We're in Vietnam fighting the man in the black pajamas, man. Unbelievable, man.
You know what? I got to ask you something.
Yes, sir.
We're getting close on time, but
I want to do the podcast again and just talk military shit with Pete.
Will you do that?
You just fucking.
Oh, fuck yeah. What time do you?
But it's presidential history.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite presidents are Nixon and Truman.
Okay.
So I'm so right down the middle.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the two parties.
I love
Look, there's 12 signs of the zodiac, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time your horoscope was right? So how the fuck can two parties represent
Right.
300 million people?
Yeah.
It's absurd. We're married to this.
I just fell in love with Harry Truman myself. The thing I love about Harry Truman is that he fucking failed at everything.
Well, he didn't really try. They just backroomed him into the vice presidency from Independence, Missouri. There was like this little Irish mob that put him in.
Yeah.
And they knew they knew Eisenhower was sick. They didn't know he was going to fucking die like right away. And then, you know the expression, some men are born great, other men have greatness thrust upon them.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Truman had greatness thrust upon him. So this little small town, one shot of whiskey every morning, and that's it. And then he's one of these guys, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
He was like a little nerdy guy.
Yeah.
And
Simple solutions.
Eisenhower dies, and then
FDR.
FDR dies. Eisenhower did eventually die, though, so I am kind of right.
Don't we all?
Just kind of.
FDR drives. They swear him in, and they take him in a room, and they show them the fucking atom bomb.
Yeah.
And they're
And he's
like, you know,
we
you're
got
gonna,
this?
You know, if we invade Japan, we'll lose 1 million soldiers. If we drop this, we'll lose nobody, but we'll end
And they'll
Japan.
lose 1 million guys.
And in perpetuity with the radiation and all that stuff forever. Like, okay. Then the Korean War.
Right.
Yeah.
He only had like 5,000 soldiers, and he had to make it look in satellite photos. He had to spread them out. He was a fucking genius. Moreland, he was a genius. Like, he spread out like 3,500 soldiers on the southern, you know this. Yeah. On the
He
southern,
had MacArthur fighting him.
Shut up. On the southern, I'm on a roll. I gotta, on the southern tip, you know that. So the North Koreans, to their eye and their satellite photos, we were just fucking everywhere because of the way Truman and his generals decided it would go. Although Frozen Chosen, the only battle the Marines ever lost, happened, but it's tropical on one side and it's Arctic on the other. It's a fucking brutal place to fight. Then he creates Israel.
Yeah.
Like, who knows that?
And he went against everybody's advice. I'll be damned. I'm going to do this.
According to my Bible,
Right.
these people are supposed to live here.
Looks right
Carve
to me.
it up, chop it up, let's go. And it's like, whoa, I'm Palestinian. What the fuck are you talking about? Hey, that's all there is to it.
Yep. It's done.
You know what he said? Steelworkers went on strike. And Harry Truman, in his State of the Union address, said, didn't tell anybody, his advisor. He goes, before we begin, I just want to tell all the steel workers that are on strike, if they're on strike tomorrow, they will be the first people getting drafted tomorrow. My fellow Americans. And then he gets off stage, and they all go, that's against the law.
What the
and
fuck that just happened?
they go, that's
That's
against the law. And he goes, let's see if they go back to work.
Yeah.
They all fucking went back to work.
Yeah.
The White House needed renovations.
Yeah.
Truman's biography is the best. Stunning.
David McCullough
Nixon.
one?
Yeah, McCullough.
Yeah.
Nixon's is amazing because of how fucking crazy, like, he'd be diagnosed and hospitalized today.
Yeah.
And he never got it through his head that he won. Like, he almost had Governor Connolly be his VP because Connolly he was in the car with Kennedy when he got shot.
Yeah.
He was going to bounce fucking his guy just to get Connolly, like, now it's all complete. The fait accompli. I got Governor Connolly. Like, Governor Connolly's an old man. He's not even governor anymore. But Truman, the White House needed these. It was falling apart.
Right.
During the Korean War, Harry Truman tells the construction people, it would really mean the world to me if you guys would start in the back in the basement. That's what's most important to me, what I enjoy the most about the White House. And the back's like a storage place, right? And they're like, yeah, the front portico and the right. He goes, no. Listen, the most important part of the White House to me is the back and the basement. If you boys, he's talking to, like, government contract. This shit goes on for like a month. They cave. And the construction in the back and the basement goes on for about 8 months. You want to know why? He didn't give a fuck about the basement. You can't be at war and have scaffolding on the White House on television.
Yeah.
So he knew, start in the fucking back.
God,
and when the
that's
war's
beautiful.
over,
Yeah.
then we'll turn it around to the front. I can't have this vision of the White House under construction. when
while
we're in this
we're at war.
bullshit peninsula war
Right.
with your people.
Don't look at me, man.
He's not
You're not.
Korean.
I know he's not Korean.
He's from Guam.
You're Guamese?
Yeah, what do you know about Guam?
Guamese.
What do you know about Guam?
I know once my wife, when she was dating Bobcat Goldthwait, he went and did a gig for the troops in Guam,
Uh-huh.
and he went and took a shit in an outhouse, and there was a Nikki Cox poster
Nice.
in the outhouse. And he
Wow.
went, wow, I am married to the hottest woman on earth.
I have arrived.
You're in Guam, and your fucking fiance, like, just GI after GI, just punching his clown.
We just had Chef Otto on our podcast just night before last, and he was on a submarine. He learned to cook on a submarine. He was stationed on the USS Patrick Henry.
That's right.
And they were on Guam a lot. And he said, Guam stands for give up and masturbate.
Submarine dudes are a different breed of cat.
They're
I was on the Greenville just taking a tour when I performed at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, let me show you, like they keep wanting to show me like shit that other people don't get to see.
Uh-huh.
So I should be thrilled. But after a while, I'm like, yeah, I kind of need to see the fucking sun. I'm getting freaked out. Like later, it's fucking Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how I got the movie Street Kings. I'm wearing,
Going to Hawaii?
you'll dig this. I guess we can close with it. You know, and I went, you guys, there's so many San Francisco comics that should be doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Proops would do it.
Okay. Will you put in a good word for us?
Yeah, definitely. He's doing mine Wednesday.
Cool.
So I go to audition for Street Kings. David Ayers wrote Training Day, Other Level Greatness, and Street Kings script is just crazy great, and it's a good movie. Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, and I'm in there. Common, John Corbett. If you're a good husband, you know that's Mr. Big from Sex and the City. So in my audition, I'm supposed to be like kind of a tough, and in the movie, like I'm the heavy, like I'm the guy that will fucking smash your face. And I had to like gain weight for the movie, but I go in there about, 180 pounds. But this Greenville shirt they gave me, the collared shirt, Greenville, SS Greenville nuclear sub, the way the sleeves were cut into my arms and it made my biceps look big. So I'm just doing like curls in my garage. And then I'm doing diamond push-ups. And then I go to the audition. I think I nail it, right? I'm in there. But there's always a Giovanni Ribisi. There's always a Ron Livingstone. There's always these guys that I keep losing parts to my whole acting career.
Man.
But no,
Yeah.
Ron Livingstone. That hurts. Giovanni Ribisi, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He's good.
Guy's got moves.
I'm done with the audition, and he goes, could you do it again this way? And I go, yeah. He goes, don't forget, you're the head motherfucker in charge. You may be a sergeant, detective sergeant, but you can fight any guy in here and beat the shit. I'm like, got it. And he goes, all right, that was good. I don't have any other notes, anything from you? And I go, no, sir. And he goes, where'd you get the Greenville shirt? The director, David Ayers, who wrote Training Day. I go, I do show, a comic. I did show at Pearl Harbor. I was on the Greenville for a couple of days. And he goes, I was on that fucking submarine for 6 months. I almost killed myself. You get the part.
Wow.
Like, just what are the odds?
Yeah.
The director
No shit.
was on the Greenville.
That's
and I show
good.
up, like, of all my shirts, the
Yeah.
Greenville?
Right.
The odds of that are 0. That's not why I got the part, probably, but
Yeah.
the blowjobs.
Hey, you know what a
It's
good
tiebreaker.
husband knows? That
What's
Mr.
that,
Big
honey?
was Chris Noth.
Say that again?
You know what a good husband knows? Mr. Big was Chris Noth.
Chris Noth. Yeah, you're right. And he was great in Law & Order with Annabelle Ciora.
Yeah.
And John Corbett was Aiden. I made a mistake.
There you go. Aiden.
You may think it's a chick show, but if you know television, it is perfect television.
Also, if you enjoy
30
getting laid,
minutes.
it's a good show.
like
It's
it,
not
right?
for everybody, but for 30 minutes of television, it is a perfect show. And that is, if you give Miranda one of Samantha's lines in rehearsal, everybody would go,
That's
wait,
not
hold
what
on a
she would
minute.
say.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Like, that's impossible to pull up. Like, Kramer couldn't say fucking Costanza's lines.
Right, yeah.
Jerry, there's a cockfight.
That's, yeah.
You can have Elaine go, I named him Little Jerry Seinfeld. He's the undefeated cock in a cockfight, Jerry. Like, if Elaine said that, it's a perfect show.
You know what I was telling Pete on the way here, and I didn't mean to close your closer with another closer, but I was telling Pete about comedians in cars with coffee.
Came to my house.
Was it your house they came to?
That was my house.
So it was.
You
I was.
haven't heard me
confused.
tell this story?
No, I saw it on. It was
But
the
you heard
Michael
me tell
Richards
exactly what
episode. But
happened.
no, please tell us what happened.
Okay. And then I really got
Here's your
into work.
closer.
Okay. Jerry Seinfeld has his web series, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and he picks a guy up and they drive around in like a great Jerry Seinfeld car because he collects them, I guess,
Yeah.
So he gets Michael Richards.
Mhm.
That's the comedian.
Yeah.
But as they're driving up Sunset Boulevard, Michael Richards goes, Jerry, let's go see Sugar Ray Leonard.
You know who lives in this neighborhood?
Who does
Sugar Ray
that?
Leonard. Yeah.
I sound like Alec Baldwin right now. My Michael Richards sounds like, what's in your wallet? Jay, why would you ever get married again? It's Nicky Cox. Forget everything I said. That's what he told me. He actually did tell me. He goes, Jerry, let's go see,
Sugar Ray
he
Leonard.
goes, let's go see Sugar Ray Leonard. And Jerry Seinfeld goes, you know Sugar Ray Leonard? He goes, yeah, we're very good friends. He's lying.
Yeah.
Completely lying. But Jerry doesn't know. Jerry does not know that Michael Richards is completely making this up.
Right.
Michael Richards at random picks my street
Uh-huh.
and says, make a right here. This is where Sugar Ray Leonard lives. We'll get him in the car. We'll have coffee with him as well.
And at random picks your
and
house.
Jerry turns the corner And he goes, I can't believe you know Sugar Ray Leonard. And he goes, this is his house. This is Sugar Ray Leonard's house. Yeah. Just ring the bell. They ring my doorbell. Neither guy has any idea that I exist, let alone that it's where I live.
Right.
Right? By chance. Barry Katz, man. My
Is that
manager
who was walking up your door?
had to drop off a incredibly time-sensitive contract, so much so that my agent came to my fucking house.
Yeah.
You know that old joke, like, hey, I got news for you. Break in, your wife was raped, they burnt the house to the ground, and your agent was found. Oh, my agent went to my house. You ever heard that old joke?
No, but that's a good one.
So Barry Katz shows up, like, with this time, like today. You have to sign it this morning. I'm walking it over. I forget what it's for. So Jerry Seinfeld, Michael Rickards, and a camera crew and Barry Katz get to my arbor gate
Same time.
at the exact same time. There's a boom mic, and they just kind of look at each other like a Mexican standoff. They go in the gate. It's kind of like a compound.
Yeah.
And they walk to my front door, and then finally goes, May I ask what the hell you guys are doing here, man? Jerry Seinfeld goes, this is not on the
Jerry
show.
know Barry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not on the show. This is what happened.
Okay.
Because it got edited, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we're here to see Sugar Ray Leonard. Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard lives here. And then Barry goes, Sugar Ray Leonard does not live here. Jay Mohr lives here. Jay Mohr lives here. Sugar Ray Leonard does not live here. And they're like, no, Sugar Ray Leonard. And Michael Richards is sticking with it because he's like sold like a good gag. You just got to fucking dig your...
He's owning
It's
it.
like, nope. He's lying, Jerry. Sugar Ray Leonard lives here. And Seinfeld goes, why are you here? Are you here to see Sugar Ray Leonard? To Barry Katz. He goes, I'm here to give Jay Mohr contracts. And then I'm going to a meeting. And then Jerry Seinfeld realizes it's not Sugar Ray Leonard's house. He looks at Barry wearing khaki pants, looks at Michael Richards and goes, he's going to a meeting. He's wearing his meeting pants. This is Jay Mohr's house. They ring my doorbell. My wife goes, what the fuck is that? Like, we all think we're getting punked.
Yeah.
So I run upstairs and take a shower, and I'm going to come out, and I'll be the first guy.
You had time to take a shower.
It was quick. It was a Navy shower. And I'm coming down to punk. If I'm getting punked,
Hobath,
I'm knocking Ashton Kutcher out. Like, I don't know why no one's ever done this. Like, oh, sorry, we didn't really tell your card.
This would be a great episode.
I'm like, oh my God, like, it's finally happening.
Right.
And by the time I get downstairs, they were long gone, but they filmed, like, my dogs.
Yeah.
But it was all completely random that Michael Richards went, let's go say hi to my friend
And it was
Sugar Ray
your
Leonard.
house.
And they just picked my house at random and rang my doorbell.
Wow.
And Barry showed up at the same time. There was a nanny, and you see, like, me and my wife sticking our head out. You don't see any of us at all. And they see my little Yorkie, Mabel, and they're like, did you see that little dog? I'm driving away.
Yeah.
I didn't know Jay Mohr was gay. Was he wearing a robe? That's the dog that you carry while you're wearing a robe.
Yeah.
Completely bizarre matrix of the universe. Randomness.
Wow. Hey, listen, everybody. Listen to more stories. Subscribe to the Break It Down show. Subscribe to Jay Mohr Sports.
Los Angeles. Brand new. I need your help.
Yeah, Los Angeles. Hey, we're going to Dodger Stadium from here. Well, a couple hours from now.
Oh my God.
We're doing a podcast with DJ Severe in the booth.
You've been there before?
No,
You've
I'm
never
a
been-
Giants fan. I've never been there.
You got like the corporate ballpark downtown. This is fucking Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. It's different.
This is Reggie Jackson against, like, Jerry Royce. This is Kirk Gibson's home run.
They didn't have to borrow anybody else's money to build this. They just went, boom, this is our land.
Yeah, it's weird. It's up in the mountain. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like you drive up the hill and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit. Like, it's right there.
Yeah.
I want you to text me. Just right when you walk in, text me.
All right.
Because it is Dodger Stadium. I can't help you other than that.
Okay.
Hey, my friends, that was great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
My man.
Warriors to the end, man.
Yeah, hashtag Jay Mohr Sports, more story. Hashtag smell my butt. I don't even know what that means. You know what, JJ? You're better than that.
Hashtag Brenna.
Brenna in the
Go
house.
That was the Break It Down show.
That's not going to happen.
For John and Pete, this is Nico saying, grazie for listening.
Rubbering into the
We'll see
billiard
you next
parlor.
time.